Hey, I think we have everything set up. I hope you guys can hear me. I've got my regular AC on because it's hot. And I also have a fan right over here. So hopefully I'm using my good mic, so hopefully it's not too bad. And we've got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and jump in because I've got like a bunch of notes here. I've got a bunch of notes on my phone. So it's gonna be a bit. And I kind of want to give some background before we kind of jump in. So first off, I want to say I don't want to trivialize what is happening because what went from kind of some drama really blew up and is so much more serious than just YouTube drama or Bochinche. So I really don't want to trivialize it by just calling this Bochinche or just drama. It's just what I happen to call the series, so I can separate out when I talk about drama and other things from the rest of my content, because I know not a lot of people really care for this kind of stuff. So I do like having it kind of separate on my channel. So if you're not that interested, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to see on my channel. Along with that, I do want to put a slight content warning because the beginning, we're going to go through a quick summary of what happened over the past couple of years with Dramageddon 1 and 2. But as we get closer to current events, we have some very sensitive topics we're talking about. So content warning for really horrible quote unquote jokes about the sexualization of minors, about racism, about misogyny, because all of that comes into play in a much bigger part than I ever could have imagined, honestly. I really didn't know much about Shane. I knew he was a YouTuber, but I really only started watching his videos like last year, when the first Jeffree Star series came out. That was basically the first kind of series that I had watched on his channel, because the rest of his content, I was aware of it, but like I thought it was very childish and immature, so I never really liked the content he put out. But there's a lot here, and there's a lot to unpack. So get a snack. This is probably going to be long. And make sure you check out the description box. Basically everything, every video, every link that I'm going to be referencing. Hopefully I did a good job of making sure I already had everything linked in the description box down below. Quite a few videos. Because I spent this weekend I'm glad, waiting and listening and seeing what happened. Because so much also just happened like in the last 24 hours. Which is kind of crazy. So I have a bunch of videos linked down below. They do really good at setting the context. And what I want to do first is start out with some more context. So I found, I had it linked in the description box. I found someone on Reddit who did a big like bullet point summary of what happened in Dramageddon 1, Dramageddon 2, and how it leads into what is happening here. So I do want to start with that first. For anyone who, like me, might have been aware of what happened, but maybe not 100% like you remember everything. Because now we're talking about like 2 years ago, leading into what's happening now. So hi, Belle. Belle said, I'm so interested to get your perspective. Thank you. I've honestly spent like all of last night and all of today when I wasn't doing laundry or cleaning, just like researching on Twitter, on YouTube, taking a whole bunch of notes, and it's a lot. And I have to say, like the title of this, I really hope this is enough to finally be rid of both Shane and Jeffree Star. Because honestly, they're both very, very toxic, and the community will be better without them. Samantha said, I've seen so many of Shane's friends shading Shane. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of surprised because a lot of what, like the most egregious stuff that he's done that's coming out now, like it's from years ago. And I don't want to say that as an excuse, because we'll talk about Shane's apology video later. I've got notes on that. But it's kind of shocking that only is it coming out now. Only now is this happening. But, better late than never. Rachel Joy says hi. Hi, Rachel. Kieran said, hey, Monica, Dan missed this live chat. Aw. Yeah, I haven't gone live in a while. Unfortunately, these circumstances are here. But I am happy to have this opportunity to talk to you guys and give you my rundown, my notes, my thoughts, and see where it goes. Banshee Muse said, I've never liked Shane, and that is why I didn't buy any of his collab stuff with Jeffree. I was on the fence about Shane when the first series came out, but I didn't like Jeffree. Like Jeremiah Starship. I don't know, I'll figure out a name to call him in here. Anastasia said that green shadow is fire. Oh, thank you. I finally dug into, the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. So that's what I'm wearing right now. It's a combination of this bright green and then these two dark greens. And then on the lid, I'm wearing this shade. I just thought it would be a good day for some greens. Mackenzie said, I love your makeup. Oh, thank you, Mackenzie. So excited for the stream. Oh, it's gonna be a lot. I've got a whole water bottle. I also made myself an adult beverage because I'm probably gonna need it. It's just, well, it's not Coke. I was gonna say it's a whiskey Coke, but it's not. It's Dr. Pepper, which I don't know how it's gonna taste. I just threw it together. So Dr. Pepper whiskey. So we'll see how that is. Rachel said Jebediah snorkelfish. That's amazing. I forgot. I watched Amanda Beebe's video. Every video down below I watched, and there were some really creative names that just cracked me up. I gotta find something. Hi, Marta. Marta said, hi, Monica. Excited to hear your opinion on this. Is all very crazy. You're right. Yep. Very crazy. So let's go ahead and jump in because we've got a lot to go through. So first, like I said before, I have the, it's a Reddit comment down below. I have it linked. This is from the Beauty Guru Chatter subreddit. And I found someone who did a full just summary of what's happened since Dramageddon 1. So let's set the stage. Dramageddon 1 happened, I think, 2 years ago now, right? So let me read through this bullet point. So Jeffree Star collaborated with most known beauty influencers over the past few years at that time. So Nikki, James Charles, Tati, Manny, Laura Lee. A few of them he called friends and showered with gifts up until some of them launched their own makeup companies, specifically Laura Lee and Manny. He is known for his controversial past, which sometimes becomes an obstacle to his career, but most of things just slide off his back. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit too. So in 2018, he worked with Shane to basically fix his public image with the first docuseries, which it really did help. It was amazing how well that docuseries was for his PR. So Shane did that series of videos showcasing his vast wealth and justifying his past behavior and bigotry. He even made everyone feel sorry for him, revealing his past and his past, basically the same thing Shane is kind of doing now, saying I was in a depressed state, I was mentally ill, basically justifying what they did. And while they filmed that, they decided to launch a palette together and film the whole thing. So that was kind of the finale for that first series, was that decision. Right after the videos launched, Manny, Laura, Gabriel, and Nikita, all former friends of Jeffree Star, posted the tweet where it was like, B is bitter because without him, we're doing better, was a picture of all of them together. And because of that, a bunch of people, basically Jeffree Star stans, dug into all of their Twitters. And apparently most of them had some pretty racist shit like on their Twitter from years ago, and they were all dragged across the coals, and everyone was apparently canceled. So that was basically Dramageddon 1. There's all of those people being canceled. And then, of course, you remember what happened with Laura Lee. She came in with like literally the world's worst apology video. So that's Dramageddon 1. Dramageddon 2 happened in 2019. So in February of 2019, James Charles and Jeffree flew all the way to Seattle to attend a surprise birthday party for Tati. There, James met and flirted with a young waiter who was questioning his sexuality. In May 2019, Tati had a meltdown on Instagram because her friend James Charles apparently had promoted a competitor gummy vitamin or a competitor vitamin brand to her birdseed brand. At the same time, Shane was filming the collaboration palette video with Jeffree, and they had become very close. During this time, Tati went to both of them crying and venting about the situation with James, and she looked for advice from Shane and from Jeffree about what to do. After this, Tati launched her Bye Sister video, while Shane was really promoting Tati's vitamins on Instagram, and the video addressed the Seattle birthday party and basically painted James as a predator who preys on straight young men. Jeffree tweeted and backed her up, saying he was a danger to society, and claims that he had proof to back his allegation, but wasn't going to share the proof. Now, this is where it's no longer drama and should have gone to the police. If you have proof of any kind of assault, of anything like this, you should go to the police. I don't care how small it is. If you witness something, go to the police. Just report it. This is ridiculous. And we'll get later on that apparently Jeffree has been keeping basically dirt on everyone and using it as blackmail. And he's continuing to use other people's victimhood, people who have come and confided in him about trauma that they received, trauma they've gone through. Specifically when it comes to James, he basically said that someone came forward, wanted to keep it in secrecy, and basically admitted that James had assaulted them. And he has this voice memo. This voice memo is apparently like the smoking gun in this case. But he refuses to, go to the police with it. But he's, on the other hand, he's not going to report it and actually do anything helpful with it, but he's using it as blackmail. And he's basically bringing in other people and showing them this voice memo and basically making a whole bunch of people complicit. And also just trying to hang this over people's heads, which is disgusting. This is the point where they should have gone to the police. This should not have been a drama video. The Bias Sister video probably should never have happened. They should have just gone to the police, reported it, and left it at that. But these are not rational people. These are, I have to say, quite pathetic people in their 30s that are making drama videos about 19-year-olds. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. So, both Tati and James afterwards posted crappy apologies and never really addressed anything or showed any proof of said allegations. That was Dramageddon 2. So that happened early to mid 2019. This is where we get to the Beauty World series with Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. Last October, Shane launched a 6-part series on the secrets of the beauty world, which is really just a long commercial, let's be honest. In the trailer, he teased content related to the James drama. I'm not even just saying teasing, most of the trailer, I saw the trailer was mainly about the drama. So that's where a lot of people had issues. So everyone was waiting for the juicy details behind the scenes of how Dramageddon 2 really went down, since he filmed the whole thing from his and Jeffree's perspectives. He got millions of views, and they both sold millions of dollars worth of products. But the series proved to be nothing more than an infomercial for the makeup products and for Shane's new merch line. All facts. They never gave any details of what really happened or evidence on the alleged predatory behavior. Also true. So, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to skip past that. Recently, James surpassed Jeffree in sub count on YouTube. Jeffree was, I guess, going off on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter about James again, and he was trying to shift blame to Tati. James, on the other side, also had some involvement with W Vanity, a predator of underage girls, who was exposed, as well as more evidence of Jeffree's racist past, which at this point we know he's a racist. It's been proven time and time again. So then Jeffree launched his cremated palette, which I had thoughts. I'll link once this is done and processed. I'll link up the BWOW where I talked about it, because that was some bullshit. That was ridiculous and never ever should have even happened. During this time, Tati basically removed herself completely from social media and wasn't really posting or talking about anything. Then the big Black Lives Matters movement happened because, unfortunately, the murder of George Floyd. And this caused some former friends of Jeffree Star to come forward and speak their truth about his racist and discriminatory behavior. He then begins to lose a lot of subs. Shane begins to lose a lot of subs. And this is right around the time that they restock their palette. So I think they restocked the palette a couple of days ago. And not 24 hours after they restocked the palette, Shane comes out with his Twitter tirade. And that's what I'm going to jump into next. I was going back and forth about whether I wanted to go through the whole Twitter tirade, because I watched a few videos and I really liked how people broke it down. And since this is a stream, we're going to be here for a bit, I thought, why not? We should go through the whole thing. And because this is the one thing. If it was just this, I would probably have this. I would say most of this is drama, except for, the parts where there's allegations of sexual misconduct. That should just go straight to the cops. I can't believe that they're trying to paint alleged predatory behavior as just tea. That's ridiculous. That should go straight to the cops. That goes straight to the authorities. And I don't know. I really don't like that. That's icky. But Shane, I don't know what the hell possessed Shane. Something tells me he was like angry and maybe had a few drinks and like typed this all out when he was on his couch and immediately posted it to Twitter, because this was deleted like an hour after he posted it. And this is what everyone in the beauty community is pissed about, because this is the one basic rant where he basically just talks a bunch of shit about the beauty community, a community he wasn't ever a part of. Like, he came in over the course of a year, bought a bunch of makeup, he never really showed using it. He never really got into the actual makeup. He was just into, I feel like it was less him getting into makeup and more a continuation of him wanting to be more like Jeffree Star. I feel like the past couple of years is just him being wowed and amazed and inspired by Jeffree Star. And I think the reason here, I'm gonna throw in allegedly because I don't want to get sued, but I think Shane and Jeffree are very similar. I think Jeffree has a history of incredibly racist behavior, misogynistic behavior, horrible behavior. Shane comes from that same background, terrible racist history, misogynistic history, horrible behavior. But since Shane allegedly saw how successful Jeffree was and just how great he was basically doing, living his best life, I don't think he really is living his best life. I think he's incredibly sad and pathetic to continually be jumping and involving himself in this kind of drama when he's like in his 30s and incredibly wealthy. But I think Shane saw this role model in Jeffree Star and just really wanted to be more like him. And so I think that's why he got into makeup. And the money. Well, the money was incredible. So I think that's why he really got into it. And so it was less of a burgeoning love for makeup, because he never really talked about makeup as in like it being a creative outlet or it being a hobby. He really talked about it just like in consumerist terms, like, oh, I liked buying the makeup. Oh, I like creating this palette to sell. Oh, I loved going to these meet and greets, and I loved like none of that is really showing a love of makeup. It's showing a love of capitalism is what it is, and a love of Jeffree Star. So that's my hot take for the beginning. All right, so we went through that summary. Let me pull up Shane's actual Twitter rant, and we will go through that. I don't think I saved these in the right order, so let's see. Oh, they've got numbers on them. I did not save them in the right order. All right, so Shane posted this 4-page rant on the beauty community to Twitter, so let's go through it. It starts with, "Welcome to the circus. My final thoughts on the beauty world." Well, first of all, that's rude as hell, calling it a circus. Maybe it's not the beauty community that's a circus, it's your life that's a circus. A few questions that I've been getting lately. 1, did I know that she was thinking about making a video? Yes. She meaning Tati. 2, did I tell her to make a video? No. 3, did I have any involvement in the video? No. 4, did I orchestrate it? No. 5, did I need that kind of drama to make a good series? No. Bullshit. You did need something. You needed a hook. If you had done the trailer, which you admit you shouldn't have included the drama in the trailer, but if you had just done the actual trailer for what it was going to be, you still would have got a lot of views. It probably wouldn't have been as many though, I think. But still, that's false. That's false right there. Every single one of his series is drama. Why is he focusing on horrible, terrible people trying to just do good PR spin-offs for them? Tana Mojo, Drake Paul, Jeffree Star, like, there's a common denominator here that may or may not happen to be all terrible, racist, horrible white people. Just saying. Allegedly. Don't sue me. Number 6, have I ever tried to ruin a career or make someone look bad in my 15 years on YouTube? No. Debatable. Number 7, do I have a track record of getting into drama with people or having fights with other YouTubers? I think it's also debatable. Number 8, am I innocent and don't have a huge anxiety-provoking regrets about how I have helped everyone handle things better? No, I've had a pit in my stomach since it all happened. But it's not our fault. I don't know why you're trying to make us feel bad for that. Now on to my final thoughts in the beauty world and my experience in it. The Conspiracy palette was one of the best experiences of my life. The series of Jeffree changed my life and changed me as a person. It helped me be more confident and stand up for myself, which I've always been bad at. Yeah, so it was really just him wanting to be more like Jeffree Star. That's it. And that's not, I mean, the way he phrases it, being confident, standing up for yourself, those aren't bad things in theory. But if you're doing them the way Jeffree's doing them, then yeah, that's because he's not a good person. He's not just, yeah, that's what I thought. Like reading through this for the first time, I was just like, the whole time. And we're not even halfway through this. Okay. So to honor the series and what I learned from it, I'm going to say this. The beauty gurus who are always involved in scandals are all the fucking same. They're all attention-seeking, game-playing, egocentric, narcissistic, vengeful, two-faced fucking time bombs ready to explode, and I'm over it. So, who else is friends with people that they would describe like that? Anyone? I'm not. I wouldn't describe anyone that is family or friends to me, or family that I associate with. Let me put that pin there. Family that I love and associate with, or friends. I wouldn't describe any of them like this. He goes on to say that this is Jeffree, which I agree. That's Jeffree right there. Jebediah. Jeb Bush Starship. Oh, I'm gonna Jeb Bush Starship. Anyway, moving on. Where's my number 2? Here we go. Yes, they are talented, creative, smart, and love makeup, but they also joined a side of the internet that is obsessed with looks, money, power, fame, screenshots, and subtweets. Releasing private texts, voice memos, emails, and other receipts as a way to paint yourself in a particular light or someone else in a bad light is weird to me, and I will never engage in that. Bitch, what are you doing right now? This is literally what he's doing right now. This is what he's doing right now. Anyway, again, still describing Jeffree Star. Jeb Bush Starship. He's describing Jeb Bush Starship. And what he's painting here, obsessed with looks, money, power, fame, screenshots, or subtweets, that's not just the beauty world. I mean, I have to agree partly with some of it. That's the social media world and the celebrity world. That is any big-time drama-filled celebrity. That is any big influencer across Instagram, across any platform. It's not just beauty. And the fact that he's trying to say all this horrible shit to deflect from him is BS. That is a game they all know how to play well, and I would rather eat my hands off than play it. Mm-hmm. Yes, Jeffree is in that list of dramatic gurus, and he would admit that, and he will always be family to me, and I love him despite these characteristics. What? So, okay. So Jeffree gets a pass because he made you money and because you're family. But everyone else, you're just going to tear down everyone else because they're not making you money and they're acting literally the exact same. There's also a level of misogyny here because I did see a great video. I think I have it linked down below, where someone talked about the differences between the female gurus and the male gurus, who like the male gurus like Jane Dawson, Jeffree Star, James Charles, even though they've allegedly done terrible things and there are some screenshots and videos proving some stuff, a lot of it just rolls off of them. Like nothing ever really sticks. But like I don't want to excuse what they did, but deservedly so. Oh, hairy lipsticks. Jaclyn Hill. So Jaclyn Hill and God, I just said her name. I'm already like tired. I'm losing everything. Laura Lee. The two of them. I'm not saying that they didn't deserve it, but the backlash to both of them for basically doing some of the same things that Jeffree did was ridiculous. And I just wish people would have kept the energy with Jaclyn Hill, with Laura Lee, as they should with Jeffree Star and with Shane. And I want to hope that that's what's happening right now. But it is hard to miss these kind of coincidences where even in a predominantly female space, a lot of the higher, more top levels are still dominated by men. Makeup is predominantly women, but a lot of the makeup brand owners, a lot of the presidents, the CEOs are men. A lot of the top YouTube influencers right now for beauty are men, specifically white men. And I want to keep the energy and keep everyone accountable. It shouldn't be fair to have Jaclyn Hill get dragged across the coals, Laura Lee dragged across the coals, when the men who did the same, if not worse things, they kind of just get off with everything. So that is definitely a part of this too. Okay, so yeah, I'm reading the chat. This is actually some really good stuff. So Bell said in Liam's video, he talked about his theory that people excuse inappropriate things. He's specifically talking about racist behavior because they see that behavior in themselves and they have to excuse it and explain it away, or they have to be faced with the fact that they're looking at their own behavior. Excellent point. And I am going to get to that a little bit later, but that is a fantastic point. It's really birds of a feather flock together. Like if you really look at the people Shane Dawson has surrounded himself with, Jeffree Star, Trisha Paytas, Tana Mojo, Jake Paul, like there are some commonalities there. Yep, Gabrielle said females are punished more severely when the guys walk away with little consequences. Yeah, it's also the reason why, like, oh, you see this, and it's not even just in the beauty or in the celebrity space. It's the reason why our president is a mad, crazy Cheeto man who has so many terrible, horrible things behind him, and he gets to be president. Whereas, oh my God, I can't even, I'm too pissed to get into that. But yeah, you see this across society. It's not just a beauty community issue, but it's a bit more stark here because it is such a female dominated space, except for when it comes to the highest levels. We should be seeing, for the amount of diversity within the sphere, you should be seeing equal diversity at the top, but you're not. You're just not. Okay, so going back to Shane's Twitter rant. Yes, Jeffree is not listed dramatic gurus, blah, blah, blah. He's very aware of the fact that I don't agree with many of the ways he approaches situations, and I have been very honest with him about needing to make some changes. When, where, and when the hell did that happen? And if you've been that honest with him and saying, like, oh, things should change, and he's obviously not changed, why are you still friends with him? Oh, yeah, because of the money. Because he made you millions, and now he's tied up a lot of his assets now. All of his merch, all of his everything is now through Jeffree Star. And so now he's stuck. You shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, Shane. But as for being in the beauty world, I can't take the drama anymore. It's not how I am wired, so I am out. It's draining, exhausting, depressing, and sometimes amazing. But for me, the amazing is outweighed by the bad. I can't have a pit in my stomach every day waiting for the next scandal or the next exposed video. Okay, this is where I also have some beef. You wouldn't be feeling that way if you, like, knew you didn't do anything bad. The only reason you're feeling that anxious and bad is because you know you have other shit in your closet. And it's only a matter of time before it comes out. So that says more about you than it does about me. And putting in all of these, like, snippets and jabs about, like, oh, I'm so anxious. Oh, I can't take this. And he's playing the mental health card. When plenty of people with mental health issues aren't terribly racist and aren't misogynistic. Yeah. So yeah, I don't like that he's using that. It's toxic manipulative behavior. It's going to give me health issues and I'm done caring about it anymore. Again, trying to take advantage of his mental health to make people bad for him. I've never been involved in drama with another YouTuber ever, and the second I just tend to do a beauty series, boom, I'm in the hurricane. That's BS. I've seen him involved in other drama. Like, and I'm not even trying to, like, follow it. He's had issues with Onion Boy. He's had issues with other people, and that's just me from, like, the random the random drama channels I used to follow. So that's just, like, not even looking for it. There's been drama. He stop trying to pretend that you were just angel saint and then suddenly you're in the beauty community and oh no, everyone's after me. That's not what happened at all. Not even a little bit, Shane. Do people in the YouTube world come to me like a grandpa and tell me their problems and ask me for advice? Yes. Is it easy for me to get wrapped up in something potentially toxic if I think someone I love is hurting or upset? Yes, it's an issue I need to work on and have been working on. So the only people that you seem to be supporting and, like, helping are some really, really toxic, terrible people. And you can't excuse their behavior by just saying you love them. Like, Trisha is a terrible person. You support them and you love them and she's like family, but I'm just trying to say, he's trying to like spin this and it's not working. And obviously not, because he's in a world of hurt right now. When she told me how upset she was in person, this is Tati, I had the same reaction the world did when they saw her video. I felt awful for her and she seemed broken. Again, this is, I mean, okay. A sidebar about Tati. Apparently, what really pushed Tati over the edge was a friend promoting a different vitamin than her brand. She's in her 30s. I'm sorry, but get the fuck over it. Second of all, she was apparently okay with withholding this information about someone potentially being a predator. And the only reason it came out and she said anything was because he slighted her. That's not the trait of a good person. If you were a good person and you had ample suspicion that a friend of yours was a predator, you report them. Do something. Don't just hold on to that information until that person slights you and then you come out and release that information, because you know who does that? Jeb Bush Starship. So that's why everyone thinks that Jeb Bush Starship told her to do it, because that is a classic move that he constantly does. But yeah, that's icky. And again, these are people in their 30s. They're in their 30s and they're acting like they're 12. Okay. Belle said being mentally ill does not mean you get to be an a-hole. 100%. Yep. Like, nothing wrong with being mentally ill, but you have to work on your shit. You can't take it out on other people. 100%. It's only representing people with mental illness in a worse light. It's not helping. It's hurting everyone. Gabrielle said, I wonder if the reason why this is coming out is because there's a Conspiracy 2 palette coming out. You know, unfortunately, I wouldn't push it past them. But at this point, I mean, we haven't even got to like the worst of the worst that's happening. And it's been on Twitter for the past 24 hours. Yeah. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised. And the fact that this happened less than 24 hours, or this rant happened less than 24 hours after their restock. So like, he literally like took his money, took his restock and dipped. And he's gonna say later, I think, he's like, oh, I didn't do it for the money. You did it for the money. Shut up. Obviously you did. Belle said, I don't know if James is a predator or not, but I was so uncomfortable with Tati's video playing into dangerous homophobic stereotypes that gets people harmed. 100%. Yes, she was being incredibly homophobic, which is why she took the video down. That video isn't up anymore. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That video isn't up anymore. And either way, yeah, we don't have any actual evidence. We don't know for sure whether James is actually a predator. But if you have reason to believe, report it. Report this. I don't understand why these people in their 30s are just trying to, oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If there's no proof, then you should not be saying these things in public at all. And if there is proof, go to the authorities. Don't go to YouTube. Like, how is that so hard for actual ass adults to understand? All right, let's continue with my rant, or his Twitter rant. So was I shocked that she decided to make a video? No. Was I shocked that Tati read his ass for fucking filth? Yes. He's also trying to use he's in his like mid to late 30s and he's trying to talk like a teenager, which is really cringy. Just saying. I wasn't acting. I didn't know it was going to be that intense. Looking back, I still believe her on a lot of what she said, and I believe she felt what she felt. What? And I believe she felt it was what she needed to do at the time. Does she regret it? Probably. Does it mean we should see James as some poor, innocent, sweet angel? No, don't get it twisted. Him and Jeffree have always been at the top of the dramatic guru list, and I mean that with love. Someone's flip-flopping. What the hell are you trying? This is what makes me think he literally was just like, I don't know, ranting into like his phone, like text to speech, because none of this makes sense. And also, I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to come across as insensitive because these are very serious allegations, but that's why I said If this is real and these allegations did happen, this should be a police matter. If they didn't happen and these 30-something-year-olds are just trying to bully a 19-year-old because he's doing better than them, that's also disgusting. Like, either way, this isn't good. Either way, this isn't a good look for anyone involved. And this just goes back to toxic people in general. So let's continue. Mean that with love, my ass. Okay. Did I warn James about the video? No. Why? For reasons that I will never discuss. Then why say it? Why bring this up? Why? This is so stupid. This is so stupid. We've spoken privately on it, and that's that. This man is in his 30s. Do I think James is the devil? No. Why? Who asked you that? Like, this is so stupid. No one asked. Do I think he was a young, egocentric, power-hungry guru who needed to be served a slice of humble pie the size of the fucking Empire State Building? Yes. Why was it your call that he needed to be humbled? Why are you the judge, jury, and executioner here, Shane? Ugh, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. And that is what leads me to believe that maybe these allegations are just allegations. This is so stupid. Has he grown as a person since then? It really seems like it. And that's amazing. I'm truly happy if he's realized how his ego is affecting others, which he did address in his No More Lies video. Do I think Tati is a villain? No. I think Tati was sick of being treated like shit by so many in the beauty world. So in this, so being treated like shit to Tati is allegedly watching some predatory behavior and then having a friend promote some different vitamins. Is that it? Is that the bar for treating someone like shit? These people really live in a bubble. They do. If that's enough to like make someone break down. Oh no. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, on the one hand, like, that's a pathetic reason to, like, oh no, my friend has different vitamins. But the other hand, if you had this information that your friend was acting in a predatory way, why the hell did you just sit on that? That's the thing. No one here comes out smelling like roses. Everyone here is terrible for a separate reason. Huh. Belle, you're right. The note is so condescending. I'm not even like doing the emphasis on like the certain words because he caps locks a lot. It's super condescending, which makes it worse because he's trying to say this is how the entire beauty community is when it's not. It's like 10 people. We'll get to that part. Here's another part that's hella cringy that I don't like. I think Tati was sick of being treated like shit by so many in the beauty world and finally snapped. And damn, did she fucking snap all the way off. Holy shit. She really said F it and beat her face to the gods and popped that ring light on and went full Game of Thrones on that shit. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. From a 30-something-year-old grown-ass man talking about a grown-ass woman coming on a website to post a video about someone else slighting them. And by slighting them, I mean using different vitamins. Just like, when you put that in perspective, like, yeah, Rachel Joy, you're right. It sounds like he's praising her for it. Yeah, because the next line is, say what you want about her or that video, but that shit will be in the history books. No, it won't because she deleted it. And it's apparently full of misinformation. That's the stupidest thing. Shane, this is incredibly stupid. YouTube Rewind even gave it an acknowledgement. Well, duh, they made a lot of money from that video. That's another thing. YouTube is complicit here too, because YouTube has been promoting, like Shane's apology video is on trending. They promote all of this toxic, terrible behavior because they make money off of it. But anyone who criticizes this behavior they go after the smaller channels and demonetize or remove videos completely. I know Petty Paige was trying to come out with a few videos. They finally, I think the second video that I have linked in the description box, got taken down 3 times before she actually got it to the point where YouTube would let it stay up. So again, YouTube is complicit in supporting and enabling these people because they make money off of these videos. Anyway, let's see. Okay. Do I think Jeffree orchestrated this whole situation? No, I beg to differ. I think he had a hand in it. Do I think Jeffree was also upset by some issues with James and some things he heard behind the scenes? Yes. Was Jeffree excited to see a competitor fall? Probably. He's Jeffree effing Star. What do you expect? He is just, ooh, he's showing his whole entire ass here. Shame. Oof. Oof. He's literally, he's talking out of 2 sides of his mouth because he's literally criticizing certain influencers, some of these toxic people out of one side of his mouth, but then he's praising them for the same behaviors. He's idolizing them for the same behaviors. So the entire beginning, these two-faced, people ready to bounce at a moment's notice, they're bad. But, if you pop on that ring light and you read someone for filth, and then Jeffree's like, he sees someone fall, like, he's promoting this and, like, idolizing over it. It's incredible. It's incredible how unaware he is. Again, rich people live in a bubble, apparently. I guess I missed the part where he got baptized and devoted his life to Christ. Oh, F you, Shane. That's ridiculous. Did Jeffree take it too far and F up big time by tweeting what he did? Yes, obviously. And that's one of the biggest regrets of his life. I doubt it. I really freaking doubt it. That's all happened over a year ago, and I'm really sick of hearing about it. Are you, Shane? And having people constantly using it as a way to keep my name and other names tagged together in drama videos, the ones that keep getting pulled down and demonetized because YouTube is on your side, apparently. Don't get it twisted. The drama will never end with a lot of these people. It's their survival, their drug. They love it, just like you. A lot of your channel over the past couple of years has been drama. BS. This specific drama went too far, obviously, and hopefully something like that never happens again. You know how you can prevent that? By reassessing your behavior and who you're surrounding yourself with. I bet you he's not going to do that. Someone has a track record. Putting drama in the trailer was something I regret more than anything in the world, and I'm mad that I chose tea over my morals. Okay, good point. That's an actual good point. You shouldn't have done that. Although I did speak to them. Oh wait, I skipped a sentence. I'm really sorry to Tati and James if me putting their drama in the series at all felt like I was reopening up old wounds. Although I did speak to both of them privately about the trailer, I should not have done it at all. Yep, you shouldn't have. Drama might be fun to watch, but it's not fun to get wrapped up in, and it's my fault for letting that happen. I'm sorry, you decided to be friends with and do a series on Jeffree Star, and you thought you weren't going to get into drama? I can't tell if you're lying or if you're stupid. And I'm sick of being trapped in the middle of the drama. Do I think this will be the last drama involving these people? Ha ha ha, no. No, I don't. Do I ever want to be involved again? No. Okay. So we're on the last page. So now we're on page number 4. Okay, we've got one more page. He's not even done. This is Marta said, why does being a shitty person excuse them for doing bad things? Yeah, I can't believe the fact that he's literally talking about both sides. Mackenzie said, as a teacher, what makes me most upset is that so many of my kids look up to them. They think this behavior makes them cool and that they can just ignore the haters instead of being held accountable. Yes, I fully agree. I forgot to mention, like, unfortunately, a large part of their audiences are literal children. People under the age of like 15, 16. It's so sickening to me that these are the kind of people that are looking up to these people. Like, they're literal children. And of course, because they're children, they're easier to manipulate. They're quicker to forgive and to look over things and really to more quickly become accustomed to the kind of shit they're putting out. That's disgusting. I'm so sorry about that. And again, so ignoring the haters instead of being held accountable, that's actually why I hate the fact that cancel culture became a meme, because it's everyone can now just say, oh, it's just the haters, oh, it's cancel culture ruining my life. It's not. We just are trying to hold people accountable for being terrible racists, for being horrible people, for doing terrible things, but they now have this kind of whammy they can throw back now and say, oh, it's just the haters, cancel culture can't ruin my life, blah, blah, blah. It's BS. We are trying to hold people accountable. And apparently it's just really hard to do that with white, rich men, which, look at our president. Fortunately. Bell said they prey on a vulnerable audience. It's really a pattern with Shane and all the people he made video series on. Yeah. This is the same man who's like, I don't want to be in drama, but he did a series on Tana Mojo. He did a series on Jake Paul. He did a series on Jeffree Star. It's BS. Of course he wants drama because he wants clicks, because he wants money. But now that like he's starting to get called out on for things, suddenly it's like, it's not okay to be involved in drama. You can't do this to me. If you can't tell, I've already had it up to here. Oof. All right, let's get through this last page. Remember to not expect these gurus to maintain some high moral code, and we shouldn't have some they must be perfect or they're canceled mentality. Okay, so that is BS. We're not holding them to a higher moral code. We're literally holding them to a standard of human decency that everyone should be on, regardless of how much money you have, regardless of how famous you are, regardless of who you are. As a person, you should have at least this much human decency. And a lot of them are all the way down here, right? It's not a high moral code to expect someone to not be racist. It's not a high moral code to expect people to not treat other people like shit. I mean, it's like he's acting like we're expecting them to be like this, like Jesus, like they're expecting them to act like Jesus, but it's not. We are literally just we're asking them to be decent human beings. And for them, that's too much. That's too hard. Oh my God, all the trauma. I can't do that. I can't not be racist. How else would I be famous? I can't not be misogynistic. Who else would I make fun of? Like, really? And to them, this says a lot about who they are as people. It really does. And here's where we get. The reason you watch these people is because they are extra. They are dramatic. And if you keep canceling them and wanting them to go away, then who will you talk about? Literally anyone else. Personally, I'm only talking about this because it's important to call out toxic behavior. We all need to learn and cut these people out. Ooh, there's thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the thunder is agreeing with me. The reason we're talking about this is because you're terrible people who should not have a platform. So that's why, like, I wanted to do this and get my thoughts and my opinions out there, because we as a community really need to be aware of what these people do and be informed. And I'm just trying to get as much of the word out there because it's disgraceful and disgusting that people like Donald Trump are president, that Jeffree Star has 20 million-ish, whatever, million subscribers because everyone ignores all his racism and looks up to him. And it's people like us who need to stand up and talk and get this out because it's disgusting, and we need to put our money where our mouth is. And the fact that he thinks the beauty community is just drama, that's BS. Like, we'll get into that in a bit. You don't go to a circus to watch the hay on the ground. You go to watch the over-the-top performers who just want to be liked and want to do whatever they can to get your attention. That's any celebrity grubbing culture. That's not the beauty community. Beauty community is here because we like makeup. We love beauty products. We want to make friends. We want to be part of a community that likes the same things that we do. He's just talking about, because it's the only people that he surrounds himself with. Again, you are who you surround yourself with. The only people he surrounds himself with are these money-grubbing, fame-grubbing people. It's not a beauty community problem, but he's trying to paint it as if it is. If you don't want to feed into it, then don't. But before all the drama-free gurus pop off at me and say, well, I'm not involved in drama and I'm perfect, girl, please. Your top viewed videos are probably top makeup fails and anti-hauls with vomit emojis all over the screen. And that's okay. I like those videos. But let's not pretend that the beauty world isn't negativity first makeup section. That's BS. That is just flat out BS. So you're trying to equate an anti-haul where we're trying to use the knowledge that we have, the makeup knowledge that I've gained through testing products and purchasing and trying products. I take all of that information and I use that to analyze new releases. And I just talk about what I think based on my experiences. You're trying to compare that to someone being hella racist and trying to get away with it on YouTube just because they're famous and they've got a YouTube channel? That's some BS. That's what makes me think like he doesn't actually watch the videos. And if he does, he's just hearing what he wants to hear. Because for him, so he's a rich person who now owns or has stake in companies. So to him, videos where people are promoting not buying things, to him, that's bad. Because how else would he make money? How else would his palette sell out? To us, they're informative and they're useful. They're not just negatives. Do I get salty sometimes? Yes. But overall, they're informative. And I'm just using all of my knowledge and all of my experience to just give my opinion on these products. And for the most part, people appreciate them. Oh, I'm talking for like an hour straight. People appreciate them because it helps them make an informed decision. God, I hate that so much. He is just a prick, isn't he? I need to drink some water more often. Okay. Belle said, classic words. Classic toxic person manipulative script. I'm not perfect. It distracts from the real issue, which is us wanting accountability, not perfection. Yes, I love that. Perfect. We want accountability, not perfection. Like what he said is before all the drama-free gurus say I'm perfect. No one says that. I'm not perfect. Like, it's just about learning as you go, acknowledging what you have done that may or may not be the best, and taking criticism and taking feedback and doing better. Acknowledge the doing better part, because that's the single thing none of these gurus at the top are doing. None of them are acting different. None of them are acting better. None of them are improving at all. And that's the issue. It's okay to make mistakes, but if you don't learn from them and grow and try not to do the same things over and over that are hurting people, you are wasting my time. Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Belle. Exactly. Marta said, it just sounds like he's not interested in the makeup aspect of the community. He's focused on the money aspect, 100%. He has been like a weird, like, DF list celebrity for a while. So he's always kind of, to me, come across as someone who's kind of trying really too hard to climb the ladder. And so when you're in that position, you just interact with a lot of other people that are like you. So Shane, if the people you're surrounding yourself with are that horrible and money grubby and two-faced, then I don't know how else to say this, but you need to take a closer look at you. Yeah. I mean, he's obviously not watching this video, but like clearly, you know, you are, I'm gonna keep saying this because I had this on my list of closing thoughts, but you are who you surround yourself with. And that's a defining point through this narrative, is that these people are who they surround themselves with. And we are who we surround ourselves with, which is for us, for our smaller community, for our smaller creators, a lovely community full of amazing people that just love makeup and want to make friends and want to share knowledge and get inspired and do creative things together. All right, let's finish this up. He said, da, 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 da. And with that said, I love watching beauty channels of all sizes, and I will continue to watch and support them. The dramatic ones, the non-dramatic ones, and the ones who generally just love to show off their makeup skills. Sadly, those channels get way less views for the reason I stated above. Okay, I can't disagree there. The drama channels do get better views. That's why Jeffree stars have 1 million. That's why, you know, channels that really focus on drama and scandals, because scandal sells. At the end of the day, scandal does sell. So a lot of the bigger channels, because there are channels that I love and I adore, but their growth is slower because they're not constantly involved in scandals. And I will talk about those channels I'm going to do the beauty community tag created by Kara C. And I think it's going to go, I think I'm going to skip the BWOW this week. So instead of Wednesday, instead of it being in the BWOW, I'm going to try and film that tag tomorrow and have that up Wednesday instead. So go, enjoy the gurus, enjoy the circus. Unsubscribe from me if you are mad that I'm no longer engaging in it. Unsubscribe to the gurus that you don't like. Subscribe to the gurus you do like. Oh my God, Shane, thank you. Thank you for this amazing permission, this amazing advice. Who would have thought we should subscribe to those that we like and not subscribe to those we don't like? Wow. It's profound. Just don't take the beauty world as seriously as I did or as many of us did in 2019. It's not worth it. And I feel like we all lost a bit of our soul during Dramageddon. We as in who? We as in you and Jeffree and Tati. And it's slick saying the we and not I. That should be I. Or you should say the names. As for my channels, I'm done with the beauty world. I love that I was able to create with Jeffree, and I'm sure people are going to assume I only did it for the money, but that's not true. BS, since you did this for the money. You so clearly did this for the money. It's even in the series. When Jeb Bush Starship was shooting out numbers about what you could be making from merch and from the palette, his eyes, huge. Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did it for the money. I hate this. I am just choosing to no longer be a part of that world. I will still watch beauty videos, buy and play with makeup, and be a part of it in my life online, but as far as being a part of that world on YouTube, I don't think it's for me. I need to get back to why I started YouTube back in 2005. Shitty comedy and shitty jokes that aren't really jokes. We'll get into jokes later, but and that was to make things that bring me joy. Does racism bring you joy? And to make movies one day. Makeup will for now just be a fun hobby I have to help with my anxiety. And that's how it should stay. That's what I use it for. I have anxiety and depression. I like makeup and I make movies. I make videos in my spare time because I love this as a hobby. Why could Oh, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Makeup will for now just be a fun hobby I have to help with my anxiety, like slime or emotional eating. Again, he's trying to make people feel bad for him throughout all of this. And that all sounds really good to me right now. Okay, so that was his whole rant. So, it was stupid. It was crass. It was quick. It was clearly. It's funny because it really holds a mirror up to him. If that is what he thinks the beauty community is, it's not the beauty community, it's his friends and who he decided to be a part of. That is that toxic, which is kind of hilarious. The beauty community that I'm a part of, that I've made amazing friends with, is not that. He decided to jump in with Jeb Bush Starship and create a series and think that so part of me just wants to think, like, what the hell did he think was going to happen? Do you think he was really just going to come in, make all this money, and then dip, and nothing happened? I doubt it. Gabrielle said, I love the makeup community that I've selected to be a part of, and it doesn't include any of them. Exactly. Yes. I'd say YouTube there are some pretty shitty things about YouTube, I will say. But a great thing about it is you pick who you subscribe to. You literally can create your own microcosm. And it's different from anyone else's microcosm. I love makeup. I love ASMR. I love random video essays about scripts and script writing and storytelling and video essays about movies. So I have curated my subscription box list to be those and to be beauty creators that I admire, that I look up to, that I really want to be, because you are who you surround yourself with. Again, I want to say you are who you look up to and who you surround yourself with. So you're right. If you create your own friend circle, who you choose as family, who you choose to watch, who you choose to give your time to, I really believe that is who you are. It's at least a part of who you are. Ultimately, you are your own person. I'm not going to get into, uh, what is it? Philosophy. There we go. So I'm not going to get into philosophy about this, but I do think it is a huge part of who you are. Bell said he made literal millions off of that collab with J-Star and then dipped when it was over. It really makes me so mad that he's pretending like we don't notice that he never even showed interest in makeup in the 6 months after that release. We see you, Shane. 100%. Yeah. He didn't even post, I didn't realize this until someone else said it in a video. He didn't post one makeup look that wasn't a part of the marketing campaign for the palette. He didn't do one video with the palette. He did nothing. And if anything, like normally we're criticizing influencers who come up with a collab and they're doing nothing but using the collab. That's better. They're using the products and they're showing you how to use them and they're proud of the product. He was literally in it for the money and that was it. And he bought all this expensive makeup thinking that that would show, like, it was literally, I think it was literally all for the camera. He's like, oh, if I buy a whole bunch of this makeup and I show it on camera and like I post pictures of like my new vanity and stuff. But I really don't think he ever actually liked makeup. I think it was just money. All right, so that being said, I will be doing the tag that Kara C created soon, hopefully for Wednesday. So now that we have all that out of the way, we have this Twitter rant, which he then immediately deleted. Next, I want to take a bit of a sidebar. Let's talk about Jenna Marbles and her video, because that is going to directly lead into Shane's video. So first of all, I do want to disclose, I used to watch Jenna, I think a lot last year. It wasn't until I started following her and Julian on like Twitter and Instagram that I mean, it's not a secret that she's friends with Shane and Jeffree, right? I mean, I don't know how close, but she certainly publicly supports them. And it didn't really get to me until like I was following her on Instagram, and I think a few weeks or months ago, she got the conspiracy collection. And so she did a lot of promo for them. And she unboxed, she got basically the whole PR box. She was talking a lot about it on Twitter and on Instagram. And she was getting a lot of heat for it, like, of course, because these are not the best people. And again, like I said before, if you believe you are who you surround yourself with, then why is she such good friends with, like, mainly Shane, I believe, but Shane and Jeffree. And so she was really publicly supporting them. And a few weeks or months ago, I think she was on Instagram, and it's kind of out of the blue, but she was suddenly just talking a lot about the palette and the gloss and everything. And I realized I was still indirectly supporting Shane and Jeffree. And I didn't feel super comfortable with that. So a few weeks ago, I did unfollow her on all social media, and I unsubscribed because I used to be subscribed to the podcast she does with Julian and to her channel and to Julian's channel too. But I unsubscribed because, again, you can create your own beauty community, you can create your own space, and I didn't want their videos to be a part of my space, but my space. But that being said, when I did hear, because I heard about this first on Twitter, about Jenna's video, I immediately went and watched it. So Jenna's video, it did feel very heartfelt, and it wasn't, I feel like a lot of people aren't getting the point of the video, which Smokey Glow, I have it linked in the description box, did an excellent video breaking down the apology video, and talking about how a lot of people are going to get the wrong message and use it to facilitate their own agendas, which we already see happening. So unfortunately, well, let's start with a quick overview of the video. So Jenna came out with an apology video where she talked about some videos that apparently she had already privated or taken down from YouTube a while ago. And she had specifically a video of her doing blackface, and then specifically of her being very racist against Asians in, I think, a rap video. I didn't even know she had songs like that in a rap video. I think she was very specifically anti-Asian. It was just very racist. And she basically played little clips of both of the videos, talked about it, and said, like, it's not okay. I'm very embarrassed about these. It's not okay to have this happen. And she basically said that she was going to be stepping away from her channel, and that she thinks it was probably going to be at least permanent, and if anything, she was going to move on from the channel, which she has been consistently doing YouTube videos for 10 years. So that is a long time. And the difference between this and what is currently happening to Shane is that she is the one who brought this up. She literally took accountability for her own actions, and because she really could have just buried it. I don't think anyone knew those videos really still existed. She's the one who said, "Hey, they're already private, but hey, here's this." That being said, this apology is specifically directed to the people she insulted. So to Black people who were insulted by the blackface, and specifically to Asian people who are insulted by her anti-Asian racism. I do not like the fact that people are accepting apologies not meant for them. So I can say the video seemed, she seemed genuine and seemed really down about it, but I'm in no place to accept any sort of apology from Jenna, from anyone on that, because it is blackface and it is anti-Asian racism. I am not Black and I am not Asian, so I am in no way, shape, or form able to accept an apology. And it's ridiculous that I saw trending right after her video came out. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Jenna, we forgive you. You know, cancel culture is running rampant. They're ruining our faves and blah, blah, blah." And the majority of them are just, I mean, I looked at the avatars, or a few people looked at their profiles. They're not Black and they're not Asian. That apology was not meant for you. That apology was not meant for you, and therefore you cannot accept it. You are just trying to blame cancel culture for a creator that you really like leaving. It is BS that so many people are excusing terribly racist behaviors, terribly misogynistic behaviors, just because they like someone's YouTube channel. So that's a big issue. So a lot of people are trying to accept the apology on behalf of others that they should not be accepting it for. And a lot of people are also just immediately blaming cancel culture, which is why I mentioned earlier, I hate that cancel culture became such a meme. Because this isn't cancel culture. She literally just took accountability for her own actions, and she did it on her own. No one, I mean, honestly, like, back when I was subscribed to Jenna, her comment section was 99% just so happy and positive. So was it on Twitter, so was it on Instagram. So no one was really calling Jenna out. I think the only thing that people were calling her out on was her friendship with Jane, with her friendship with Shane and JetBlue Starship, which I believe should be called out on, especially when she's so openly promoting, you know, their products. So that is something that she could have been called out for, but I really didn't see that many people doing it. And like me, I just decided to like unsubscribe and unfollow because of it. But I really don't think that many people were calling her out. And so to see people on Twitter and Instagram blaming cancel culture, it is misguided and it's entitlement. These people feel like they are entitled to her content. And it doesn't matter if anyone else was insulted or hurt. If they don't get what they want when they want it, then, oh, everything's terrible. Everything's the worst. It's the amount of entitlement honestly shocks me. So they feel entitled to her weekly content because it makes them feel better. They like watching it. And they don't care who else gets hurt or who how to say the best way to put this, but it's to them it doesn't matter about anybody else as long as they get what they want. And it's BS. Belle said she actually took that content down years ago because she understood the implications. Shane left all this stuff up until recently, still making money off of it. Excellent point, too. Excellent point. So Jenna had that stuff privated. So she took it down. She wasn't making money off of it, and she could have buried it, but she didn't. She actually came out, took accountability, and apologized for it. You're right. Shane left everything up. So it was still all up on his channel, and he was still monetizing it and making money off of it, which is another thing. Why? Going back to YouTube, why was YouTube leaving this kind of disgusting stuff up to be monetized too? Like, why was still, after all this time, that content was still monetized? Yikes. I'm like crossing off my notes after I talk about everything, so we're like down to here. Oof. Anyway, So now that we went over Jenna's apology, so the, not backlash, but I guess the reaction to Jenna's video was literally the hugest outpouring of support. You had the people blaming cancel culture, but we love you, Jenna was trending. Everyone loved her, and basically everyone was just doing an outpouring of love and support for her. So Shane saw this. And he literally mentioned in his apology video he was inspired by Jenna to create his own apology video. So here we are with his shitty apology video. You're 100% right, Bill. The fact that they're keeping his racist, misogynistic content up and monetized at the same time where they're taking down other content creators for calling out this content, like Paige, 100% right. Why can't they keep the same energy across? It's because they're making more money off of Shane. That's why. Angie said, not to mention Shane had Shanae merch all the way up until last year. Are you kidding me? I didn't even know that was a thing. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Anyway, so Spark notes of Shane's apology video. He basically said he was inspired by Jenna. I think he was expecting the same kind of response to Jenna's video, which that didn't happen. He basically used his mental health and the fact that he had a traumatic childhood and the fact that he was depressed and anxious as an excuse for his disgusting behavior. And he also, in the same breath, was saying that they were all just jokes. They were bad jokes. These are not jokes. These are, how do I say this? This is the behavior of a manipulative, allegedly, let's say allegedly. These are the behaviors of a manipulative, I don't want to say predator because that's not good, but don't want to get sued. Okay, so this is the behavior of, let's say narcissist. This is the behavior of a manipulative narcissist who tries to see what they can get away with. You know, like, say it's like, I'm also trying to figure out how not to get demonetized because this is going to be hella demonetized, by the way. This probably isn't going to have any ads. But it's basically like if someone comes up to you and says a really like terrible sexist remark, like hitting on you or anything like that, and then you're like disgusted and you say that's not okay. And then they go, oh, no, it was just a joke. But like if you hadn't reacted that way, it wouldn't have been a joke, right? The reaction to their response is how they then go back and rewrite history about it. So like if Shane said a horrible, disgusting joke about sexualizing a minor, and if everyone laughed, then yeah, keep going forward. Yeah, it's great. And then he gets more bold and the jokes get worse until he gets to the point where someone actually calls him out. And then he goes, oh, it's just a joke, man. Just a joke. It's not. It's not just a joke. Even if it was just a joke, it's disgusting and it's perpetuating things that we should not be perpetuating in society. But they're not jokes. I don't think they're jokes. It was really just him trying to see what he could get away with, is what I think. That and shock value. He was so desperate for attention. He was basically going to do anything he could to get it. So this is where I learned a lot on Twitter yesterday and like this morning. I didn't know half of the stuff that he had done in his past. If I had known any of that, I wouldn't have supported him even the little bit of watching the Jeffree Star series or the Palette series. It's absolutely grotesque. The sexualization of minors, the jokes, again, in quotes, jokes about his animals and abusing animals. And I don't even want to get into all of it. So if you look down in the description box, Paige did a really good video. The one that kept getting taken down, mind you, did a really good video about everything he had really done. And I couldn't get through the whole thing. It actually made me sick to my stomach. It's disgusting. And the fact that he's trying to get away with it and say that they're all just bad jokes, and I only made those bad jokes because I had a bad childhood and because I was abused, is disgusting and horrible. And he should not only be, I think he should be deplatformed at this point. And the fact that YouTube kept this content up is disgusting in and of itself. But I think at this point he should be deplatformed. And the fact that he's using his mental health and his family background as an excuse is disgusting. So let me go ahead and be a bit honest here. I had a pretty shitty childhood. I was diagnosed with clinical depression at the age of 13. I've dealt with anxiety my entire life. You know what I never did? Does anyone want to guess what I never did? I was never incredibly racist. I never made jokes about sexualizing minors. I never did anything that shamed him. But to him, being in a bad place mentally, going through a rough childhood, to him, it defends everything that he did and the effect it had on others, which is absolute bullshit. It is bullshit. And using mental health as a crutch, as an escape, as if you say, is damaging to anyone else who actually suffers from mental health issues. This is why mental health is so stigmatized, because it's so stigmatized to really be open and talk about it. And people like Shane use it as an excuse for disgusting behavior. When that disgusting behavior is not because of your mental health issues, Shane, it's because of you. It's because of you as a person, because of who you are and who you wake up and decide to be every day. That's why. It's not because of your mental health issues or your childhood. It's like, oh, excuse me. It's like that scene. Has anyone seen BoJack Horseman, where ultimately there's a scene where he's like, it's not your childhood, it's not your drinking, it's not your drugs, it's not who you're around, it's you. The issue is you as a person. And I feel like someone needs to like shake Shane and tell him that, because it's him. It's not anything that happened to him. It's not his mental health. It's him and the choices he made. So many other people go through worse and just what you went through, and they don't pretend to jerk off to a minor. It's disgusting. So speaking of that, I think the reason why this is now bigger than just YouTube and Twitter is because one of his disgusting jokes was it involved a photo of an underage Willow Smith. And he, like I mentioned before, it's disgusting. He pretended to masturbate to this photo. And it was a joke. Again, I don't think it was a joke. I think he was, again, trying to see what he could get away with, because he's a sick human being. So the Smith family unfortunately saw this. Can you imagine having to like come on to social media and see a video of someone doing that to a picture of your underage, she was like 11, your underage daughter, your sister? It is grotesque. And that's why these are not jokes. They're not jokes. They are perpetuating, apparently, the cycle of abuse he claims to have gone through, which is disgusting. So, that video resurfaced. Unfortunately, I had to see it. I saw it on Twitter before I couldn't see it. And so Jada Pinkett Smith tweeted out, like, "I'm done with your excuses, Shane Dawson." And then, oh my God, I forgot his son's name. How did I forget it? I literally was checking on Twitter. It's literally still like the top trending story on Twitter right now. Excuse me while I help my failing brain figure this out. Jaden, okay. Jaden and Trey, the forgotten other son. So Jaden Smith popped off on Twitter too, and he was right. He was saying it's disgusting what he had done to an underage poster of an underage girl, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. So yeah, so that's what really took this situation. The only reason why I think people are still talking about this is because this kind of blew up out of proportion. Not out of proportion. Excuse me. That's a terrible thing. It blew up in proportion, as it should, because the Smiths called him out on it. And they should never have had to see that. They should never have had to call him out on this. So they called him out. on Twitter. And now it's like mainstream news. I saw BuzzFeed did an article. I saw Variety did an article. Now they're actual like mainstream magazines, newspapers writing articles and publicizing this even more, which leads me to believe, hopefully, that this might stick. It sucks that people get torn down and ruined for much less than this. But if this is finally enough to take him down and remove him from this, remove him from the platform, then I think everyone will be much better off for it. We need to honestly deplatform Shane and deplatform Jeb Bush Starship. And that's what I think. So my closing thoughts, I've got a couple of little closing thoughts right here. The first one is what I kept saying throughout the whole thing is you are who you surround yourself with. So while I personally liked like Jenna Marbles more than a lot of other bigger YouTubers of her size, the fact that she was so close with the two of them did rub me wrong. And so I no longer supported her because I was not comfortable with that. Because I do believe you are who you surround yourself with. Wholeheartedly. And the other one, the other closing thought I have here is there's one common denominator between everything that I've talked about in this video, every drama that's happened in the last 2 years, and that common denominator is Jeb Bush Starship. For some reason, he seems to always come out smelling entirely of roses. And even now, like, Shane is getting the heat that he deserves, but I feel like people aren't keeping the same energy with Jeb. Jebediah Starship. And I feel like if anything good is to come of this, it will be the calling out and forcing accountability on Shane and on Jeb Bush Starship. And I mean, I know it's not going to happen. I want to see them deplatformed, but I know it's not going to happen. They make way too much money for YouTube for them to ever actually be fully deplatformed. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of this happened fairly quickly this weekend. And so I'm glad I waited a bit so I could actually have like a full timeline here and to give like all of my thoughts in one space. I don't know what's going to happen from here. From here on, I mean, I'm going to just keep supporting the people that I believe deserve support, and I'm not going to be buying anything from either of them. I'm not going to be even watching Shane's videos if he decides to make any more after this, because that's also support, and I don't want to do that. So that's kind of everything that I had prepared for this. We'll see if anything happens. People are saying that like Tati was going to come out with a video. I doubt it at this point. And if anything, don't make a video, Tati. If you think a crime has been committed, go to the police. Stop acting like a 12-year-old and actually, like, I don't know. It shocks me how childish everyone acts. Belle said, thank you for this live stream. No one in my life is in the beauty community, and I have so many thoughts. It was nice to talk it out. Yes, same. Like, I have a couple of friends, like my best friend Brooke, I talk to her sometimes about it, and then my boyfriend, like, bless his heart, like, I come to him, and I'm like, did you hear about this, and I, like, talk forever. He has, like, no idea who I'm talking about. He's a good sport about it. He does the same to me about other things, but, like, he has, no, I mean, he'll listen and give me a little bit of feedback, but it's not like talking to someone here. Oh, Brooke's here. Hello, goodbye. I'm unfortunately late. No worries, Brooke. I'm just happy that you're here. You're my best friend. Gabrielle said, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. This was good. It lasted a little bit longer than I thought it would, but I'm glad that I got all of the timeline down. Again, make sure you check out all of the videos that I have in the description box. So they're all great for context. They're great for opinions and for amazing monikers for Jeb Bush Starship. Because I think someone mentioned it before, Amanda Beebe has like the best names for Jeb Bush Starship. It's incredible. So yeah, I think I am going to go now and clean up, and I think Brooke and I are gonna play some Last of Us, because also that's something I've been doing for fun. Brooke and I have been playing The Last of Us, so Last of Us 2. So we'll see if we do that. So thank you guys for listening to me rant for an hour and a half straight. Like, oof. I think it's probably the longest stream that I've done in a while, but it was really good to just kind of lay everything out. And yeah, so let me know if there's anything else that I may have missed. If there's anything new, again, so like this is still probably a developing situation. So if there's anything new that happens after this, I will probably have a pinned comment and edits in the description box. And if things really go to hell in a handbasket, we might just do another one of these. But I don't know how soon that would be. I have a long weekend coming up. I get for 4th of July in the States. I have this Friday coming up, and Monday off. So I have a nice long weekend. So we might do another one. Hopefully on like a better topic, a happier topic. So yeah, we'll see about that. Thank you, everyone. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Night, everyone.